UFC 299 is this weekend. It's a massive, massive card. I've been looking forward to this one big time. I swept the card 2 weeks ago. I'm on a little bit of a hot streak, and I've got a massive parlay to match the card for you, over plus 800 on the odds. Stick around to find out what it is. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and I'm here ready to cover UFC 299. It's an absolutely massive card. Chookagian in the main event. If you haven't seen our breakdown video, go take a look at that too. And of course, if you haven't yet, if you're seeing this, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well at the 10-7 MMA. And at least give us a like. Give us a like on the video. We put out content all the time, right? We just hit our 100 video threshold. But anyway, aside from all that, I'm here to cover UFC 299. I'm here to give you your best bets. And I don't want to toot my own horn. First of all, the Miami vibes are going strong still. If you haven't seen our breakdown video, again, go do that. But massive parlay. I got a big one. I've got a big one for you guys. Am I riding high a little bit from sweeping the card a couple weeks ago? Yes. Did I sweep the fucking card? Yes, I did. And I hope you've been following along because we're on a bit of a hot streak here. Anyway, I'm going to go through the entire card. I'm going to go through all the fights and just briefly and quickly give you my thoughts on each and every fight for this week. And in terms of the betting aspect of it, of course, I'll give you the parlay at the very end of this video. But also, I'm going to give you some modifiers along the way if you're feeling a little bit riskier, or I'll just kind of walk you through every fight, right? So let's get right into it. Starting off with the first fight of the night, we've got Joanne Wood, formerly known as Joanne Calderwood. She's taking on Marina Munoz, and Joanne Wood is a plus 195 underdog. Marina Munoz minus 238. Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't love betting on women's fights. This is a tough one. I went with Marina Munoz. I think she's going to win this fight. Do I feel particularly strongly about it? No, I don't. Joanne Wood is a seasoned veteran. She's got good Muay Thai. And a lot of times in these weight classes, especially in this weight class, in the women's divisions, sometimes experience is all it takes, right? So I'm going to stay away from this one. If I had to pick somebody, I'd pick a Marina Munoz. But again, I wouldn't spend your hard-earned money on this one. Moving on to the second fight of the night, we've got CJ Vergara at plus 425. He's taking on Asu Almabayev. This one I do like. Now the odds, they're a little bit crazy, minus 575. CJ Vergara is, again, another seasoned veteran. He's tough to finish. That's why in this one, I'm not picking a finish, but I will take Asu Almabayev. I'm very, very confident in him getting this done. Even at minus 575, yes, he's got the blood from that region of the world, of course, so his wrestling is on point. But actually, he's got some decent striking too. So whichever way he does it, I'm very confident in him to win. I will take him at the money line here at minus 575. That's the first leg of the parlay. Moving on to the third fight of the night, we have got a UFC debutant, one of the higher touted prospects, if you want to call him that, at 35 years old. In the heavyweight division, though, of course, he could still have a good 10 years damn near. So it's Robles de Spain, of course, that I'm talking about at minus 345. He's taking on Josh Parisian, who is a plus 250 underdog in this one. I like Robles de Spain in this one, man. Minus 345. The odds have actually tightened a little bit since we did our breakdown video. So I'm very, very comfortable taking Robles de Spain here. I know Josh Parisian has a lot more experience than he does, has fought a lot better competition that he has, which isn't saying a whole lot, to be honest with you. By the way, prop bets are not out for this fight for whatever reason. If they were, I would absolutely make this Robles de Spain by knockout. So if it's available, that's what I would do. But on the money line here, for the sake of this video, minus 345, I feel real good about that one. Moving on. Next fight, Michel Pereira taking on Michal Oleksiejczuk at 185. Of course, Michel Pereira, a couple fights ago, he moved up. He's looked pretty good. I picked him to win this. I want to say Dino Bam Bam picked Michal Oleksiejczuk on this one. And, man, it is close. It's close. We've seen both of these guys chin. Michel Pereira does some crazy shit. He's tamed down a little bit, But this is not a fight, especially at 185. A lot of power involved. Mika Aleksandar, man, we saw in his fight against Chidi and how tough he is and how hard he is to finish. He seemed like he was out on his feet in that one and then came back and won it, right? So this is not one that I want to go near as far as betting. The odds are too close, and it's kind of a pick 'em for me, quite frankly. I had a tough time choosing who I thought was going to win this to begin with, so I'm not going to be betting this one. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Ion Cutelaba versus Felipe Lins. It's damn near a pick 'em, minus 118 for Cutelaba, minus 102 for Felipe Lins. This is so close, man. This is such a close one. I picked Ion Cutelaba. I just think he's more athletic, brings more power. Felipe Lins, to me, has looked better at light heavyweight. Doesn't look like a fat piece of shit, which is good. But it's just, he still kind of moves like a heavyweight. I think Ion can get this done. But my God, we've seen Ion Cutelaba chin before many a time. This is another fight that I could see going either way. I'm not putting my money on Ion Cutelaba. He's one of the riskier fighters in the sport. As fun as he is, he's just too risky for me. I guess if you're going to bet anything here, I would bet the under 1.5. But, I mean, these are two tough guys, man. I could see it going certainly longer than a round and a half. So I just don't love it for betting. I'm going to skip this one. Moving on. Next fight of the night. We've got Pedro Munoz. And my goodness, this one is very interesting. He's taking on Kyler Phillips. Pedro Munoz, plus 185. Kyler Phillips, minus 225. In my opinion, man, I mean, listen, this is one that I personally will be betting. I can't in my right mind tell you to bet it, right? I was very, very close, though, to adding Pedro Munoz to this parlay. And I try to keep it safe in this parlay, in this video, right? But, I always add some things and mention some things. If you're feeling frisky, man, there's nothing wrong with adding Pedro Munoz, right? Because at plus 185, I think you're getting really good value there. I think he's going to win this fight, quite frankly. So if there's an underdog I feel strongly about in this card, it is Pedro Munoz. Look at his resume. He's fought the who's who of the division. Kyler Phillips has not fought the best competition. Kyler Phillips has some questionable losses on his record, too. Pedro Munoz held his own against Sean O'Malley. I thought he won the Cheeto Vera fight. Speaking of two guys that are in the main event, man, I know he's older. I think he's 10 years older than Kyler Phillips. I don't really care, man. Pedro Munoz, one of my favorite guys in the division. This is going to be a banger. I would take Pedro, but for the sake of this particular parlay where I'm trying to keep it a little bit safer, I can't do it. But, man, if you want to get frisky, throw Pedro Munoz in that bitch. Moving on. Next fight of the night, we've got, and this is a big one, man. This is a fun fight, or it could be pretty boring, to be honest with you. But, of course, I'm talking about Mateusz Gamr, minus 455, taking on Rafael Dos Anjos, RDA, plus 350, coming back the other way. Man, listen, I love RDA. He's a good wrestler in his own right, but throughout his career, the guy that we've seen him struggle with the most, why is my hair so fucking crooked? I'm sorry. The guy that we've seen him struggle with the most is a dominant wrestler, right? So I do expect him to get taken down here, man. It's kind of his kryptonite. Minus 455 is a little bit crazy. That's why I'm picking Gamr by decision. Gamr by decision instead of minus 455 is minus 175. I really don't see Gamr finishing RDA. RDA is such a veteran, so tough, and he's got enough wrestling know-how and grappling know-how where I just don't really see him losing it. Of course he can get chinned, but man, RDA is so goddamn tough. I just don't really see it happening. So this is the only fight on the parlay where I'm picking the winner by a certain method, and it's Gamr by decision. I'm fairly comfortable in that. Moving forward, next fight of the night. We've got Katlyn Sermonara, a.k.a. Katlyn Chookagian. She's taking on Macy Barber. Katlyn Chookagian, plus 170. Macy Barber, minus 205. Listen, man, if this was a year ago, I said this in our breakdown video, maybe I would feel differently. But Macy Barber really impressed me. I was not a Macy Barber lover, right? But she really impressed me in her fight against Amanda Ribas. Katlyn Sermonara, she's old, right? And she has no power. So in my opinion, once Macy Barber realizes that there's really no power coming back her way, I just think that she's going to go for it, and she's aggressive, and her striking is vastly improved. I'm pretty confident in this, man. It's a women's fight, yes, but I think the odds are kind of right where they should be. So I am going to take Maycee Barber in this one at minus 205 on the money line. Anyway, moving on to the next. You know what? I got to do something. I got to plug my phone in because that son of a bitch is going to die. Give me 1 second. Okay. Anyway, Bam told me to stay out of this section. He's going to throw a thing up there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm taking Maycee Barber minus 205. Yeah, very comfortable with that. Moving on to the next fight. And the next fight is Curtis Blaydes versus Jailton Almeida. Curtis Blaydes and Jailton Almeida, absolute pick 'em here, minus 110. Dino Bam, he said Curtis Blaydes is going to win this. I actually feel very comfortable picking Jailton Almeida here. I really do. Jailton Almeida has a lot of power. I know he's going to be a lot lighter in there. I just really appreciate his skills, man. And Curtis Blaydes, like, yes, he has good takedowns, but how long has it been since we've seen Curtis Blaydes really use his wrestling? And on top of that, if you look at Curtis Blaydes' takedown defense, it's not very good. It's like 40% or something like that. So I am very comfortable taking Jailton Almeida here, man. I think only the top of this division can beat him, to be honest with you. So at a pick'em, I like the odds. I will take Jailton Almeida here at minus 110. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that aggressive cut there, guys. Anyway, fell off my chair. No, I didn't actually fall off my chair. But in any case, back to business. What I was saying, Jailton Almeida, I do feel comfortable regardless of what Dino Bam says. I'm just kidding. I love that guy. Anyway, moving on to the next fight on the docket. We've got a big one at bantamweight. And, man, when I say big one, I mean big one. Peter Yan not catching any breaks, even at minus 125, a slight favorite. He's taking on Song Yadong. Song Yadong is a massive power puncher, probably the strongest punch in the division. And Peter Yan coming off a few big losses, and arguably, how many was it really, right? You can argue that it wasn't. You can argue that he lost only the Marab fight, right? But, man, it's not an easy matchup coming back for him. I almost wish that these guys weren't matched up. I'll tell you right now, from a betting perspective, I am not going to be betting this one. I'm a degenerate, so maybe I will, but I'm telling you guys, don't bet this one because there's a good chance either guy could win, right? If Peter Yan comes out and doesn't do his usual slow starting gimmick that he does, I think he'll win this fight. If Song Yadong comes in, and then, like, if you look, like, Song Yadong had some close fights, like Ricky Simone, and, like, we saw what Mario Bautista did to Ricky Simone, and so originally I picked Song Yadong in this one, man, and I'm so 50-50 on it. So just for that reason alone, I'm out. So count me out on that one. Moving on to the next fight of the night, and another huge fight. It's Gilbert Burns taking on JDM, Jack Della Maddalena. Gilbert Burns plus 140, JDM minus 166. Man, tough fight. Tough fight. If this was Gilbert Burns a year, because he's been out for almost a year, I want to say this is I believe it's the second longest hiatus of his career. If this was Gilbert Burns 2 years ago, or certainly Gilbert Burns in his prime, I think he takes out JDM all day, easily. In our breakdown video, I did pick Gilbert Burns. Dino Bam picked JDM. I texted him for the record text, and I said I'm switching my pick to JDM. The injury that he suffered against Bilal, he's 37 or something like that. I don't have it in front of me right now, but he's older now, coming off a big injury, coming off a long hiatus. And what's Gilbert Burns' biggest weakness is the straight 1-2, right? So JDM, really, really clean boxing. It's tough, man. But Gilbert Burns, if he gets JDM down, he's one of the premier submission artists, even though we haven't really seen much of it lately in the division. So this is just too much, man. It's too close of a fight. I'm skipping this one. This is a fight. I'm going to pour my whiskey. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to enjoy myself. And I'm just excited to see some violence for this one. Yeah, but I'm not going to be putting my hard-earned money on it. So moving on. Next fight of the night. And then the rest of these fights are so fun, man. This is such a big card. Unbelievable. Arguably better than UFC 300. What a treat. Anyway, and of course, the next fight I'm talking about is Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page. And my goodness, man, this is a big one. Minus 135. Kevin Holland, slight favorite. Michael Venom Page, plus 114. Man, originally I had picked Kevin Holland for the sole purpose that MVP, let's be real, man, he hasn't fought the best level of competition. Not taking anything away from him. He is so goddamn good, man. His striking is like on par with like Israel Adesanya, right? And I know Izzy gets a lot of hate, but my God, like the striking is amazing. I'd pick Kevin Holland because Michael Venom Page always has a massive reach advantage against Holland. He's not going to have that, right? And Michael Venom Page, I said this in our breakdown video, is like, is it too little too late, right? He's at the twilight of his career. But I ended up, this is the other one I ended up changing my pick. I texted Bam Bam, even after picking Kevin Holland. I said, let the record show I'm switching my pick to Michael Venom Page, man, because I just don't trust I don't trust Kevin Holland's mindset, you know? As soon as he's losing, as soon as he starts coping, and it's just too close, man. He's got power. Michael Venom Page has power, but like, how does it translate to this level of competition? I'm not betting this one, guys. Again, another fight where I'm just excited to watch it, but I'm not betting it. So, moving on to the co-main event of the evening, and my goodness, is this a fucking big fight, man? Dustin the Diamond Poirier taking on BSD Benoit Saint-Denis. Dustin Poirier, a rare underdog at plus 170. BSD at minus 205. That's kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. The odds are kind of crazy to me here. BSD, if you watch this at all, if you're a fan, if you're a subscriber returning to this video, you goddamn know how much I love BSD. I love him so much. There was a time I bet against him. I hate myself for it. But it's so goddamn close. Like, Poirier has the better, crisper boxing, but BSD literally has probably killed people. Okay. So, and then another new development. BSD does have a staph infection, it looks like, on his forehead. Now, is that physically going to impact him? No. But could the fight be canceled? Maybe. I don't think they will, but listen, ultimately, I did pick Benoit Saint-Denis, and I'm sticking with him. I think he has more ways to win. He's a goddamn killer. He's better on the ground, and he has a chin. Like, he's just a stud, man. Even if he loses this fight, I don't think he's going to lose much stock, to be honest with you guys. But I just can't bet it. I just can't bet it. At the weigh-ins too, at the stare down. DP, man, he looked legit. He didn't look scared at all or nothing like that. I just feel like he's made so much money. He's got his hot sauce business. He fought Conor for big-ass money fights twice, not counting the third time when it wasn't that big of a fight, right, money-wise. But I just can't bet this, guys. I really just can't. So, anyway, I'm going to skip this one. Again, another fight where I'm just really excited to just watch it. So, and sometimes that's funner, you know? Moving on to the main event of the evening. And, of course, it is Sean O'Malley taking on Marlon Vera. I really like both of these guys, man. They've both got some fun stories. Both these guys also some of the wildest physical looking transformations, at least head up in the UFC. If you like, I've seen many. If you go on Instagram, I'm sure you'll see it. If you're an MMA fan, Sean O'Malley, man, minus 265. Marlon Vera plus 215. I thought Sugar was winning the first fight, right? So he's gotten better. He's the champ now. I kind of feel like he handpicked this. Like, why is Marlon Vera even getting the title shot here? Let's be honest. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in Sugar winning this, man. If you feel real funky, I really don't see a knockout. So if you're feeling funky, take Sugar. I'm going to take him on the money line at minus 265 for the parlay. But if you're feeling funky, man, by decision, plus 100. That would, let me just see what that would do to the odds of the parlay, just real quick. Sugar by decision, because I don't see him knocking Cheeto out, man. I don't. And not because he can't. I just don't really see him going for it. You know what I mean? So the parlay I want to say was at plus 830 with Sugar at money line. If you take Sugar by decision, plus 1251. So $100 to win $1,251. That's a good chunk of change. Again, I'm trying to keep it somewhat safe, especially on a week like this where I'm giving you guys 6 picks that I'm very comfortable in. I'm taking Sugar for the sake of this at minus 265 on the money line. So let me recap it for you guys. Yeah, we've got 6 items. First ever 10-7, 6-item parlay. Okay, don't come for my neck. Oh, and also, if you're the one bitch that is copying our MMA casuals guide videos and you're watching this, take one of these, brother. Take a couple of these home with you. Bag them up. Because we got our first dislike too, right? So fuck that guy. And if you see another casuals guide video drop, Dino Bama does such a good job with them. If you see another casuals guide video and it's not your boys, fucking dox them. Don't dox them, but at least downvote them or something, or fucking dislike it or whatever. Anyway, the parlay, 6 items. First one, Asu Almabayev, minus 575 money line. Give it to me. Robles de Spain, minus 345 money line. Give it to me. Mateusz Gamr, we're taking him by decision. I don't see him finishing RDA, minus 175. Give it to me, brother. We're taking Macy Barber on the money line at minus 205. We're taking Jailton Almeida at minus 110. And we're taking Sugar Sean O'Malley at minus 265 for the first ever 10-7 6-item parlay at plus 830, right? $100 gets you $830. That's good money, all right? So that's all I got for you guys this week. Don't come for my neck if you don't win. You probably will, though, because I'm on fire, all right? And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting. Again, if you don't already follow us, look at that. The 10-7 MMA on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And if you don't, check out our Instagram. We got a lot of photos, all right, with cool guys, some fighters and stuff. We're pretty active on there. It's mostly Dino Bam Bam with fighters and stuff, but it's all good, all right? If you like me more than him, I'll make an appearance here and there too. That's really all I've got for you guys, all right? Nonetheless, whatever happens, massive card. I'm pumped for it. I can't wait to see you guys next week. We're going to keep putting out content. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.